Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Colin Dawson bringing to you another edition of the Political Minute. Trying to be as nice as I can be, and supposedly this angle makes me look less fat, according to one of the little helpers of the United States. Dare we say, secret police. But anyway, moving right along from everything as it always goes. As things are looking more and more like it's going there, what could have made us have these across the nation rather than just next to Oak Ridge or White Sands or someplace they put on movie studio things for Stargate Atlantis? January 6th. January 6th, I think, will live in insanity more than infamy. Granted, I just saw Tucker Carlson say no senators died, and they were talking about the one lady who did, and a couple of the Capitol Police, I think 3. But yet thousands of Americans have died since then, but they're not looking at it. But they are looking at it bipartisanly. And all the violence that's gone across, and I would even say hundreds of people being replaced out there in Oriental communities that nobody really looks at, with people that are the enemies of the United States. No matter what, I think a lot of the situation, whether it's black, white, or anything, would say that Orientals have just never been removed from their imperial nature and long enough as everybody else has. Even if the imperial nature that's over there was somehow nothing like the royalty situation in Europe. However, one thing has been standing out since I did digress there to another area, thinking about black communities being replaced, white communities being replaced back in the 70s to the 40s. And basically, it's like it just keeps putting a noose around everything. And January 6th, I think, was inevitable because of this noose that comes up. And while there's several people that say the recent peoples had not gone through the oath of repatriation, but have made immigration back to this country through their ancestors that would have been considered with it, which they couldn't if they said they were part of the Confederacy, which the Confederacy being French, basically ordered in liaison underneath that, which is religious slavery of the French by the Pope for bringing the area that was a renegade slave area back underneath control, and also bringing over hundreds of millions of slaves and dropping them here for future situations. Confederacy never making it into the capital or anything else, but the people of January 6th did. And I just remember some of the pictures there, and I'm going, these are the greatest French fur trappers I've ever seen in my entire life, ever. I'm sure they had a lot of people there or anything else, but it's like if you had 5 or 10 of them posing there with their long guns or something else. In a way, their brownish red beard, everything else similar to some of the wigs out there with a slight bit of curl in it. I will say took every single thing for anything with the Confederacy finally going, we made it in. And they go, oh wait, it wasn't the White House. It's some way out there with it, erecting gallows and saying that they were, like at the time, I think of Madison and everything, and all of this, and how they had somehow symbolically took everything, but yet how it seemed like there was a march en masse of weary, ragged people who had their not as much musculature in the face, and it was just sagging down, and like They need to hear us. They'll hear our voices, and we're going to win. In a small way, I can say there had to be some, as loosely as it could be, confederacy finally made it to the Capitol in amongst everybody, and that's why, in a way, the Democrats, being the party of the Confederacy, who have just in the last 20 years basically came off of all forms of probation in the governors and the House and Senate and presidencies and everything. And the other day I thought of it all with it, and it would sound so geeky with all the words, and and the dates and everything, put it all together. And I was just like, it's very, very strange. Because if they charge anybody with insurrection or anything, more than likely the same thing if they could charge Donald Trump with it or someone who is a Republican, they would then have to open themselves up to the same situation and go back under a form of probation for probably 35 years, as a FISA would do for someone who was a part, lineage, and family of the United States of America. Not 50 years for a foreign national, but somehow they had gotten in here, unless they wanted to try and take all of their citizenship and everything that they have, which granted all these things that they've acquired, if they were a senator and everything else, a justice, a president, every college degree and merit and piece of paper, really, if they just look at it, is weight against them, whether Republican or Democrat or independent or anything. Now, January 6th, inevitable, insanity. Political statement. Grandeur and pomp and circumstance. Tammany Hall repeating itself, weeding out the weaker for the stronger. What could it really be? I think it is for what it is. Shouldn't be looked at as anything more or less. And just leave it as that. All things considered, January 6th, one can say that it's insurrection. In a way, one could say, with everyone saying someone should disunify this country, January 6th, as sad as it is, our voices will be heard and we're not going away. It means that there will be no divorce, so to speak, if we keep throwing around the term peaceful divorce. No. It's going to be sticking it out through all this until differences can be found. It's Colin Dawson with the Political Minute.